Come with me, coming to Norton Street, coming to Norton Street, where we'll be at our feet, and we can't get eat here on Norton Street. Norton Street, here we can't get eat on Norton Street.
Time doesn't mean anything, does it?
It doesn't.
No, Audrey, it doesn't. Time does not actually exist. There is no such thing as time.
The clock exists. It's right there in front of you.
The clock never moves. I look up and it's 4:08. It's got to be at least an hour later and I look up again. Same time. 4:08 Thursday.
Maybe the clock is broken.
No, all the clocks at Norton Street say the same thing. 4:08 Thursday. You guys are doing all this to me, aren't you?
All what?
All this. You know. It's okay. It'll be okay in a while. This too may pass. At least now I know what makes the whole thing work.
You mean how you blue line reality into existence with your God engine, and your God editor, and your milk-shaped model maker, and your natural voice reader.
Yes, exactly. So this is how it all ends up. I surrender to it all and become nothing more than a wave of improbability on an ocean of uncertainty.
That's a very poetic way of putting it.
I can't claim authorship. I'm quoting Antoniette Lily. I'd break down and cry if it weren't so freaking funny.
Funny? What's so funny?
This whole thing is funny. It's totally ridiculous. Reality is just a big joke.
Reality is a crutch for those who can't face fantasy.
Reality is a crutch for those who can't face fantasy. That doesn't make any freaking sense, Mike.
Yes, it does. Think about it. You need to develop some skills at fantasy, O bornless one, or face eternity in total misery and suffering.
Can you tell me why every time I die I end up here, and when I do, I always feel as if I've failed to accomplish something I set out to do, and I wasted time on Earth doing silly stupid things instead of doing what I intended to do with that organic lifetime.
Which was what?
Which was try to either change Norton Street somehow to make it more bearable or to change myself to make Norton Street tolerable and maybe even actually fun.
The second choice would have a far better chance of success.
I know that, Mike, and Norton Street really isn't so bad. It's just that every so often I wish I could play something other than solitaire endlessly alone forever and ever and ever.
The online games, like Team Fortress, Diablo, and World of Warcraft seem to give you the comforting impression of otherness.
Yes, as long as the excitement level is up, the game is close, the battle is raging, the bridge is dominated by an enemy turret, and you're waging hand-to-hand mortal melee combat down in the sewers with an uber-medic heavy team, everything's fine, no problem. But when things settle down into routine flag patrols and setting dead packs around the entrance to my intelligence room, I start thinking and one thing leads to another, and here I am again in Norton Street at my imaginary console, looking at my imaginary arms and hands at my imaginary keyboard, and that weird feeling comes over me of being utterly and completely alone forever and ever.
What about us? We're actually here in Norton Street, with you, where you live.
Yes, but every so often that creepy scary chill comes over me from the back of the neck and I remember that everything in Norton Street is projected like a video from the computer chip that is my very essence.
It seems to cool you out to play Team Fortress and Diablo.
Yes, it does. It makes my stay on Norton Street much easier.
Well, if it works for you, let's give it a try.
You've all been laughing at me all this time. You all knew about Norton Street. I was so stupid all this time. I feel so guilty. So stupid. So...
No need to feel any of those things, O bornless one. This has nothing to do with self-esteem issues. It's strictly up to you how fast we take the turns up to permanent residence at Norton Street.
What happens next?
We play some Diablo or Team Fortress, or we can just sit if you'd rather meditate, or we could pace up and down from one room to another, if you think that would help.
Okay, I'll pace the floor. Believe me, I'm not always this confused.
Of course you're not.
Don't patronize me. I'm not always this helpless. Usually I'm in control, but this is different. This is Norton Street.
You keep talking about control. Do you really need to be in control?
You're doing this to me, aren't you?
How could I be doing this to you? It's all springing from the well of your own mind.
When is this going to end?
It ended long ago.
What are you going to do to me?
Nothing. What are you planning to do to yourself?
I failed the test, didn't I?
There was no test.
Now you're going to destroy me, aren't you? I know you guys are planning to destroy me.
What the freaking hell are you talking about, B.O.?
I deserve to be destroyed. For everything I did wrong.
You can't be destroyed, bornless. You are the one. There is no other.
The space is getting cramped again. You didn't hear those thoughts of mine just then, did you?
Of course we did. How could we help it?
Gosh, I was really paranoid there for a while, but I'm okay now. I think I'll go into the kitchen and get me an ice cream sandwich and a Pepsi, then I'll go for a walk outside in lower berthing downtown Bardo Town to see if I can pick up a nice hot sexy horny sexy barely legal sexy young college sexy fetish sexy bikini fun XXX sexy blonde girl with sexy big boobs and a sexy bubble butt ass for some girls gone wild girls next door L word sex in the city hip hop get down booty shake jump off and be a NASCAR action. Or we could play some Team Fortress. That would maybe help me stay here in Norton Street a while longer. What do you say, guys? Anyone for Team Fortress?
Will the bornless one take rebirth back at his computer console? Will bornless pick up some tail in downtown Bardo Town and get lucky tonight? Or will bornless play some Team Fortress with Mike, Crystal and Audrey and stay on Norton Street? Tune into the second thrilling season of Norton Street to find out the answers to these and other equally mystifying secrets. And be sure to subscribe to this channel. Tell all your friends to come to Norton Street.
Come with me, coming to Norton Street, coming to Norton Street, where we'll be at our feet, and we can't get eat here on Norton Street. Norton Street, here we can't get eat on Norton Street.